In the halls of the Tianbei Academy, a student's worth is calculated entirely by their bloodline and bank account. Wealth dictates hierarchy, and inherited status is the only recognized path to power. For thousands of years, a relic known as the God-slaying sword sat in the academy courtyard, left behind by a legendary swordsman. The rules allow one attempt per lifetime to lift it. Li Jianchi, a student backed by vast family wealth and arrogance, steps up to claim it, and fails completely. The crowd shifts its attention to Shi Huang, an outcast they regularly mock. He approaches the relic, reaches out, and the moment his bare hands graze the metal, the dormant energy inside the blade wakes up. To the observers in the courtyard, the sword still looks like a rusted piece of scrap iron. But this animated diagram illustrates what is actually happening internally. The sword acts as a biological data drive, uploading a secret technique directly into Shi Huang's nervous system. Take his normal human strength and multiply that base metric by a factor of 100. Humiliated in front of his peers, Li Jianchi fabricates charges of theft. He leverages his father's political influence to hire an elite cartel of assassins to eliminate Shi Huang before the outcast can fully understand his new abilities. Shi Huang is cornered in a lethal paradox. He holds a massive hidden reserve of physical energy, but he lacks the political armor to survive the academy's corrupt bureaucracy. He has to adapt his tactics immediately, or the system will execute him. To secure legal immunity from the assassins, Shi Huang enters the Tianzhou assessment. It is a grueling, officially sanctioned gauntlet of 3 trials that must be completed within a single 24-hour period. The first trial drops him into the wilderness, requiring him to track and engage a highly lethal, mutated apex predator known as the three-eyed golden lion. He brings it down. The second trial tasks him with clearing out a heavily fortified bandit stronghold. Rather than rushing in alone against a small army, he negotiates a temporary alliance with a local wolf pack leader, coordinating their attacks to systematically wipe out the camp. The final test is a public duel against the Li family's most decorated veteran. Shi Huang slips past every heavy strike and delivers a sequence of calculated counterattacks, crushing the senior warrior in front of a live audience. Completing all 3 trials secures his legal protection and establishes him as a public hero. More importantly, it proves he can strategize and adapt under pressure. With the legal route permanently closed, his enemies are forced into the underworld to continue the hunt. The Li family escalates the conflict by contracting the Black Clothes Tower. This syndicate operates with a single directive: track down and execute anyone displaying genetic or magical mutations. While the assassins mobilize, Shi Huang heads into a subterranean prison. His objective is to rescue the former Academy chancellor, who has been trapped alongside a highly toxic, legendary dragon. Stripped of his weapons in the underground vault, Shi Huang is pushed to his absolute physical limit. This nervous system schematic maps his biological reaction. His body operates on a baseline Earth signature. Under extreme stress, a latent fire phoenix element wakes up. Watch this new red energy weave directly into the brown base, stabilizing into a volatile double helix core. This specific biological combination of earth and fire allows him to neutralize the dragon's toxic defenses. He closes the distance and executes the beast hand-to-hand. Walking out of that subterranean prison, he is a dual-element threat. He has evolved from a skilled brawler into a highly unstable anomaly, landing him squarely at the top of the Black Clothes Tower's hit list. The syndicate launches a coordinated strike on a sacred altar, deploying a biological curse that corrupts human DNA and turns its victims into mindless beasts. When the curse enters Shi Huang's bloodstream, he turns his fire phoenix energy inward. He manually raises his core temperature, incinerating the parasite out of his own veins before it can take root. He immediately retaliates against the syndicate's leadership. Using a newly acquired mythological arm modification, he shatters their defenses and drives a physical strike straight through the structural supports of their headquarters. The collapse of the building buries the syndicate's local operations. Shi Huang is now systematically dismantling entire criminal networks by himself. Realizing they are being picked off one by one, the surviving assassins and beast packs consolidate. They form a massive, unified army designed to overwhelm the region entirely. Shi Huang refuses to meet them in an open field. He steps out as a lone decoy, deliberately pulling the entire invading force into the narrow, heavily wooded terrain of the Beilong Forest. This topographical map illustrates his strategy. Triggering the 5 elements war god technique, the geometry maps onto the forest's choke points, creating 5 distinct elemental nodes. By synchronizing attacks, closing the trap instantly isolates and eliminates the command structure of the entire invading force. In the center of that collapsing grid, Shi Huang channels the immense pressure of the battle into his earth element. His capacity hits the absolute human threshold and then breaks right through it, evolving into a state known as the War Emperor. The surviving soldiers and commanders drop their weapons, kneeling the moment they sense the sheer density of his new aura. The battle ends instantly. A few months prior, he was a mocked outcast in a courtyard, written off because he lacked inherited wealth. Today, the most powerful factions on the continent answer to him. He proves that total authority isn't something you are handed by a corrupt system. It is built through relentless, brutal adaptation.